Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25.
Let's go.
Now a guy who went to prep school right here in Philly, DeAndre Swift. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they... Maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Okay. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The Lance going to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards the pickup. First down, Washington.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake. Lance. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These two teams met in our nation's capital earlier this season with the Commanders picking up the win at FedEx Field. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance. Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Isaiah Likely the target that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. He will push his way down to about the 14. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Off of play action, here's Lance. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Back to throw. Flaherty. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Flaherty. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. To try again after the sack. Lance, he's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And boy, that was something to watch, wasn't it? How about the way these guys came out here in the first quarter? They really put their stamp on this game early with their play calls, and they certainly look good so far.
Lance now on first down. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Throwing now is Lance. This will be caught at about the 6. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
A gain of 7 brings up second and goal at the Eagles' 3-yard line. Down.
They'll run with Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll try to run with Robinson. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Bass now to send it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Looking to throw on second down. Flaherty, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0.
Commanders 21, Eagles nothing. Tyler Bass sends a kickoff.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Flaherty. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
By Montez Sweat. A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Montez Sweat drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded at the 20. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Flaherty. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded inside the 5. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Well, let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
Ready. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Lance. Right side, Thornton with it. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Washington going to send out their punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week, as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Another good throw there in what has been a strong rookie season to this point, Charles, as he now has surpassed the 3,000-yard mark with that last completion.
And just think, he's been forced to learn on the job here in his first year. Normally, veterans talk about, hey, I've got the answers to the test before the game even begins. But this guy's taking the test with every throw, with every game. And so far, he's passing with flying colors.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Flaherty. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Flaherty. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talked a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. Lance's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Lance. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. To throw, it's Lance. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
Lance looks to throw again. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Lance looking to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And this one complete to Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Flaherty trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Sanders. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Sanders. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Off play action. Flaherty sliding out of the pocket. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Lance to throw it. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Got his man. It's Thornton. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And some room to work. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Tyler Bass sends the kickoff.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Play action. Now it's Lance. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
From the gun, here's Swift. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
And Lance now to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Tyquan Thornton. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Eagles 7. Tyler Bass set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
With the score where it is, this was probably going to be 4-down territory if they didn't convert there. But what a nice job of working his way open, making sure he secured the catch, and setting up 1st and goal.
Sanders is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit, because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember. At least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave the stadium.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
A short kick taken at the 18. And able to get this out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Red, cycle. Go red.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. Tried to drop it in there, but it's intercepted.
Well, the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. They're just not a particularly confident throw there. That one, it had a lot of air under it.
And the fact that it was thrown out toward the sideline, the ball seemed to hang up there forever. That's one that you go to bed dreaming about as a defender, because that's about as easy as they come.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Drive begins with a carry by Davis-Price.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
It's a loss of 14. Brings up 3rd down.
Off the play fake. Flaherty.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Out left and complete to Thornton.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
That's 2nd and 2. That's a 4-yard line.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And he'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal.
This an easy one, 23-yarder.
The kick by pass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 33 yards that time.
First down. First and 10.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down. Flaherty. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds after taking a little further down inside the 40. 63 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's across for the touchdown. Too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Elliott good on the extra point. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here. But let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
52 blaster. Ready.
Now a give right side Swift. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Gets it quickly out wide to Thornton. And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Hassan Reddick charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest.